Hey guys, Leah FX Model Miniatures back again, and got a bit of a new one that I've started. I mentioned that I was starting another build in the last video, something based from Empire Strikes Back and based on a concept. This one being based on one of Ralph McQuarrie's sketches of possibly one of my favourite props, the Probe Droid. For Empire, obviously, we all know the big 8 or 9 foot, life-size model prop that was made, and then the smaller stop motion animated puppet, both of which, I adore them. But the ESB stop motion puppet is something, I love the model. Heavily modified a nice end resin model some years ago, along with Guy, actually. We both kind of, I think we both kind of bought resin probe droids at the same time. We're a little unhappy with just a few areas of the model, so we really went on a deep dive to research it. And what I ended up doing to that resin model was I carved as much as I could off the head and the body, replaced it with original kit parts, and we also I think I kicked off a bit of a craze at the time. I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I kicked off a bit of a craze at the time because I created some, pretty darn accurate articulated scratch-built arms for the droid. I built some for myself. I built some as a commission, and they're really fun to do. Very, very tedious. It's time-consuming, but really awesome to do. And yeah, that just my love for the Probe Droid just grew and grew, and I mean, that resin model now that's long gone. And I'll show you in a minute. I'm working on a scratch built studio scale model. But this, I wanted to do something. I wanted to do another concept. Another one from the artwork. Some of the artwork designs, they're adorable. They really are, just really enchanting. And this, I can't remember the date, but a few sketches. Ralph McQuarrie did a few sketches of the Probe Droid, some of which are they're a bit weird and wacky, and some of which are just blow my mind. And this is the one that I absolutely, I really love it. I love the design of it. But I just started messing around with some basic shapes, and it's very crude at the moment, guys. It's very just roughing out profiles at the minute. But what I want to do, I kind of want to build it on the channel. Just so you guys can, I can take you through the build, what I've done, how I've done it. It might bore you to tears, or some of you might want to learn from it. I don't know. But that's the plan. I'll announce it. I'll kind of, start it from here, and it's very, very rough form. And, hopefully we can just watch it evolve together. But, the head, the head's a funny one. Talk about being cheap and chintzy. The head itself, I was vac forming over these hemispheres, elliptical ABS plaster domes for my Cloud City buildings. And when I pulled them, when I trimmed that, and I looked at it flipped, and I thought, wait a minute, that'd really be a nice start for a concept Probe Droid. So what I did, I ordered some more styrene, and I pulled a couple of these, and that is what makes up the head of this. Okay, So that's just 2 hemispheres cut and joined. And then for the underside, I did something a little different. All this has still got to be, putted in nicely and uniform. And but yeah, I cut this area out for the neck, and I was going to put just a flat sheet of flat disc of styrene in there, but I thought, no, let's be funky. Let's have it concave inwards. Why not? Simple things. I mean, we've got a rotating slip ring for the neck. None of this is bonded at the moment. That's got to be cut out yet, so I can run some wiring through, because I do want to put a couple of lights for the eyes in it. I've started marking out some of the placement of the eyes, and then I had to cut the top section out because the Concept Droid has got this weird little funky skull cap. So if I just pick this off, this is actually an offcut from one of the Bespin domes that it's just a placeholder at the moment. But I cut the top of the head out, and I started, just a tip, guys, these are solvent joined, so I use a Tamiya solvent weld to join them. Now, because I'm going to be getting pretty rough and ready with fitting the eyes initially, I did a you can just about see it, the old CA and baking soda. Awesome. When you're doing internal welds and stuff, what I did, I ran a bead of CA and just let it run round the seam, and then I slowly sprinkle baking soda around and then just rotate it. I've done the same on this area here, this basis for the neck, just so it's solid. It becomes a solid entity. It's really strong. But yeah, the eyes, initially I wanted to ream them from the inside to get this really uniform shape, but I will be honest, because of the shape of this, it actually makes the job, it's almost like doing the job twice. So I started with these, and they went okay. They're fine, but it was just a lot more work than profiling them from the outside. So that one's been sanded to the right radius, the right curvature, and then you just take a motor tool, and you have to slowly shave away the inner lip of these ABS domes. These 2 eyes here are just placeholder. They're not final. They need to be smaller. I've actually got a selection of Plastruc domes on the way from EMA model supplies. This one came out okay. I was quite happy with that. It came out all right. That one's not bonded in yet. At the moment it's just kind of playing with shapes till I'm happy, but just to be cost effective, these eyes here, because this is roughly about the position you see the head in the artwork, so it makes these just a little too large. So these are going to be reduced by about 5mm. So I'll do 2 new eyes here, but then round here I'll reuse those. I'll reuse them around here, because this, it's all artist impression, and that's where the fun of some of these concepts is. You can have a little bit of fun. But what I want to do is also keep it period to the time frame. So I only want to kind of decorate it with the New Hope and ESB era donor kits. This top skull cap here, as I said, that's an offcut from the Bespin, one of the Bespin towers, but that's got to be enlarged, so that's going to end up just sitting probably about 4 to 5mm above this pencil line, which is my main line for the eyes. So that's going to sit around here, so I need to pull another one of those. I've got some styrene on the way, so I'm just going to pull another top cap in 1mm, and as soon as the the plaster all the plastic domes land. I've just ordered various sizes just to mix and match some. As soon as all these land, I can start profiling them all in and then deciding where to fit them. One funky thing, I mean, these are going to be smaller and a little closer together, but in the artwork, you almost get like this, it's almost like a jumping spider vibe, you know, with the eyes being, you know, these big bug eyes. It's really cool. And obviously it's so different because on the Probe Droid miniature, all of these eyes actually sit, the domes sit on a standoff, which is cut from all of it's really cut from the Saturn V rocket on the miniature. So yeah, I scaled it from this dome, and then we got to the body. Now the body, again, the upper is final. That will remain. The pull was created from just a very rough and ready vac form buck, which I pulled over in 1.5 styrene, I think it was. Yeah, that's a simple styrene rib and P38 or Bondo vacuum buck, which I pulled over, and that's the upper body. And you've got neck ring, and this slip ring will sit in here, and that will be bonded in, so then either one, you know, the head will be able to rotate. This lower section is another cheap and cheerful. It's actually just a plant pot saucer that I've trimmed down just to get an idea of the profile. But now I've got an idea of the profile, I've got another donor plastic container, which is the correct depth, because this is way too shallow. I need around another 8 to 10 mil depth down here. So I've got a donor on the way, which is the correct depth, and some hydrocal. Hydrocal, something I've never worked with before, but I hear it's awesome. You know, for making solid molds as well as railroad scenery. So what I'm hoping to do is actually, on the new plastic part, I want to just pour hydrocal, let that set, peel or cut this plastic piece away, repair any bubbles, etc., and use that as a vac buck to create this lower body portion. So it doesn't always have to be crazy expensive, guys. You don't always have to be getting into silly money on 3D CAD microwave X-ray designs and costing a fortune. You can just kind of have fun on not a shoestring. It's still going to cost, you know, it's still going to be quite costly, but it's not going to escalate to the point of keeping me up at night. So yeah, I mean, that is the very basis beginning of this concept droid, which I'm not into the figure collecting. I'm not really into any of the, you know, mass market license collecting stuff. Some of it I find a bit ridiculous, but I think this is roughly about the size of what Hot Toys created as their replica of the miniature. So it, you know, it might have a really cool vibe about it when completed. The arms on this one, there's an image on the front of the video, but it's only got 3 arms. You know, obviously the original had 5, or 6 if it's on display. They built a mock-up arm as a stand, but anyway, this one only has 3 arms. Now it also has like this weird funky radar dish thing hanging off the side of it, and there's a claw coming out here. So they're all going to be fun elements to add using period donor kits, same as with the arms. I want to really use some parts that are very eye-catching. So some of the thigh pieces, maybe for the larger arm, I thought about using some of these from the Morse car. Possibly, I'm not sure. I mean, I've got some that are already cut here. You know, I don't know which way I'd kind of, not sure yet, but I'd like to use some really really eye-catching pieces, very obvious pieces, but use them in quite some funky ways because I want to make the arms on this very elaborate, very, very delicate, very elaborate. All the sliding brass dampers on the articulation, you know, I really want to throw you know, hammer and tongs at it and make it something a little bit special, because it's a, you know, it's a subject that, you know, I really adore. I mean, speaking of the you know, the actual miniature, I mean, this is one that I've been working on for, well, I was working on it solidly for quite some time, but I haven't touched it in ages. I really need my head in the right place to work on this. It's yeah, it's quite a thing, the Probe Droid. It's not a simple one. But yeah, this was a set of VAT books created by Marcel Rouley. Marcel out in, I think it's New Zealand or Australia. If you're watching, buddy, how you doing? But yeah, he created these vacuum books for this and did an exceptional job. I mean, this thing is absolutely, it's a lot of work. You know, it's a lot of cutting, a lot of grinding. I mean, fitting these all these Saturn V parts for the eyes is tedious. You know, this one in particular, you know, that's a dome from the Saturn V and another dome from the Saturn V, and then some plastruct I think they're LF lampshades. Saturn V again. Yeah, profiling all of this in is one hell of a job. And it kind of burned me out a little bit, so I haven't touched it in a while. I mean, the head is not far off done here. It basically, the biggest job on this now is there's another couple, there's another 2 or 3 eyes that need to be attached. They're already profiled, as you can see. What you have to do, you have to kind of get the radius again, and then you take out all of that with a Dremel, so it's just this smooth transition into the head form. It's quite tricky, but once you get an idea of it, once you get a feel for it, it starts happening pretty quick. I think this was the last part I actually worked on it, which is the head dome. This cap here, which just you know, it's just solvent welded, a bit of ABS, so it's just removable in case I want to light it. But again, yeah, that's all original donors, and just styrene and plastruct dished head. That's something a lot of us got wrong. There's a really awesome resin kit of this model out there. I think it's Sergio Gutierrez. I think he goes by Matero on the RPF. I think he took a lot of our research and ran with it and created his own resin kit. And it's beautiful, but he just got this bit wrong, and it's really annoying because it should be a dished head, not an elliptical dome, so it shouldn't sit so proud. But he did a wonderful job on that Probe Droid. I think John Simmons actually, John Simmons actually built and painted one up recently, and it looks lovely. You know, he's really put the time and effort in on finding the donors, which there are a lot of donors on this model. But yeah, that's it's just all hollow there. This here, I mean, that gets covered with a big styrene plating. There is actually another, this is the other pull that I've already marked from the skull cap. But yeah, this is actually the pull for the plating. You know, as you can see, these are already formed to fit around the eyes. So that's still got to be done. That's going to be daunting. I'm not looking forward to that job, actually. That's why I said this one, I've got to have my head in the right place. But yeah, this little groove here, when Marcel created these bucks, obviously on the Probe Droid, there's a pinch in the join of the head. I don't know why, but yeah, that cut line is so they could actually then remove the buck when they created these. Yeah, but yeah, that one will happen. I'm just, yeah, I'm not in the right headspace to work on it at the moment. I mean, I've got the you know, there's the body pull here, a lot of work in that, lots of work. And then I've got like the upper, these are the upper dome pulls. for the body. That's the upper bit, and then you've got another thinner one of the same pull for plating. So yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, I will be honest. I mean, people may look at the arms as being the bugbear of this model, but truly, you know what? The arms are so simple. They're really, really easy. I mean, I've built 2 sets now, and I know I can breeze through them. Building the head and the body from scratch for the first time, wow, yeah, it's quite a test. It is quite a test. But yeah, that's just a little delve into the studio scale droid, which hopefully at some point I'll be able to get back to and maybe update on here, hopefully. But for now, I'm just having a little bit of fun with this as a concept build. And yeah, hopefully it'll go my way. Yeah, time will tell, but I'm pretty optimistic about it now. I mean, the next challenge is getting this body buck correct and pulled, and then from there there's a lot of cutting to do. Then there's all these kind of weird vent details around this that have got to be cut out. There's detail vents that have got to be cut all around the body. To be honest, the head itself I thought was going to be the real stinker on this, creating a head, but the head has turned out pretty easy. I think that's going to go my way. The body, a lot more work. I'm not worried about the arms at the moment. That's just donor work. That's just actually a lot of hours looking through parts. When you're doing concept work, you'll find that a lot of your time is donated to just getting all of your donor kits out and just literally covering the floor of your man cave or workshop or whatever with donor parts. You are literally just looking at donor parts going crazy because you think, oh, that looks good. Oh no, but that looks better. Oh, but that looks, you know, it's a real, for me, it's almost like a real process of what was done during the original trilogy. You know, that there were parts they really liked, and it's a good vibe, although you're not creating it yourself. You know, I'm not designing and creating this. I'm taking artwork and plagiarizing what Ralph McQuarrie sketched, but it's the little details that I've then got to dive in and make believable. The way I look at it, I want to build this as if it were a concept built by ILM. So I'm not going to go using kits from the 90s. I'm not going to go using kits from the, you know, time periods that didn't exist during Empire Strikes Back. I'm going to detail this to the letter, you know, with period donor kits, just to get that vibe of, yeah, this is what, you know, Joe Johnston or you know, Issei Young would have done at that time. He may have used this part, and it's really fun actually. You know, I'd love to encourage you guys out there to have a stab at some of the concept artwork as models. You know, sometimes it can get a bit stale in the replica department. I mean, have we replicated everything? No, there's still a lot to be done. I haven't built everything for sure. I've only built a very small portion of filming models out there. But sometimes it's nice to just get off those rails and just have a little bit of fun and a little bit of just creative license, just to dive in and get your hands dirty and create something from the ground up, and then just dive into all these wonderful, wonderful donor parts that we spend so long IDing accurately to other models. But this time round, you can start diving into those boxes and picking what you like, you know, parts that you think, wow, that's so detailed. I'll use that. But hopefully I can give some more insight to that as we go along. You know, I'll start roughing out some pieces that we can start deciding on what to use on it. But yes, hopefully in the next video I can get a better update of this lower body and move it along from there, get this skull cap pole, I'll get that done, and possibly the next time you see it I might have all the eyes profiled and just taped on, and just see what you guys think, see if it's heading in the right direction. As I said, it just might be just a bit of fun to let it evolve on the channel, and hopefully come up with a really nice concept model that's going to look like the Probe Droid, but not. But yeah, let's see where it takes us. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all the kind words and whatnot. I may have an update soon. I've started base coating one of the ROTJYs in the Archive X Reefer White, and I've got to say, wow, this stuff is beautiful, beautiful. Obviously I've never used these acrylics, and for the first time, actually I'll get it. I'll just give me 2 seconds, and I'll show you the base coat. Sorry, guys. Right, yeah, I base coated. This is Y number 1. That base coated the cockpit the other day in Reefer White, and it is wonderful to use. It really is. Just the coverage is fantastic. It levels out really, really nice. I was shooting it roughly 70-30 again. So yeah, any of you guys out there wanting something as a good base coat, definitely look at the AX acrylic Reefer White. Dare I say it probably covers more effectively than the enamel. I find with the enamel, when I'm base coating with the enamel, I have to be pretty kid gloves for the first few coats, and then it starts to kick in going Reefer White. With this, I did one initial thin pass just to get some adhesion for the acrylic, and then I went at it, and it built up in no time. It was Reefer White coming through beautifully in no time. I'm going to probably base coat the number 1 Y-wing hull maybe later today or tomorrow. So I'll give an update on that. But yeah, I'm very, very impressed with the effectiveness of this as an acrylic waterborne paint. As a base coat, it's very, very rich. Yeah, very impressed with that. But yes, as I was saying, guys, rambled on for long enough. Hope you enjoyed that, and I will give you some updates on this droid as we go, and yeah, whatever other endeavours that are going on in the crazy man cave. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon.